ET Now RWI small case is live right now. The reading currently at 509. It's a basket of stocks. It's a much more smarter portfolio compared to the benchmark, which is skewed towards few stock. This is equally weighted, and it has a good representation of the stocks from the sectors which are contributing much more meaningfully to the rising India. And remember, we are aiming at $5 trillion economy target. So I have with me gentleman who has helped us design that portfolio, Anugrah Shrivastava of SmallCase. Anugrah, thank you very much for your time. Let's start by understanding the concept of SmallCase and how does RWI SmallCase is an ideal portfolio for the investors which are just stepping into the market and to the investing journey.
Thanks a lot, Ajay, for inviting me. First, let me just talk about a small case so that the viewers have full context. Right, a small case represents a list or portfolio of stocks which are tied together to represent a particular idea, theme, or strategy. Right. So let's take an example to understand. Right. So a lot of investors have invested in a small case which is called brand value small case. It represents a list of stocks which of companies which are very strong brand. Right. So if anyone wants to invest into strong companies which have a strong brand, this is the small case that they go and invest into. Similarly, we have a small case which is called rising rural demand. It represents all the companies which are expected to benefit if the income levels in the rural economy increases. Right. So if someone wants to benefit out of this theme, this is what they buy into. Right. So now when I say buy into, right, the obvious question that comes to the mind is what do I buy into, right, or where do I go to buy such stocks, right? So small cases are present on all the major stock brokers today. So just the way you want to buy stocks or mutual fund, in order to do that, you go to your broker, you log into your broker and then trade, right? Similarly, if you want to invest into small cases, you can go to any of the brokers, like small cases are live on HDFC, Axis, Zerodha, Kotak, all the top brokers. Just go to their website, log in there with your broker credentials, pick a particular small case and then invest into it, right? So in a nutshell, a small case today represents a modern investment instrument which is very easy to understand, relatable and cost efficient compared to mutual funds. So it's just a way of investing, right? Now coming into why we are here in terms of Rise with India small case, right? So ET Now has been promoting this theme of Rise with India, that our Prime Minister is actually targeting a 5 trillion economy by 2025, right? And today we stand around 2.7 to 3 trillion. That's a huge growth, right? It is very achievable also, because if you look at how the economy has been growing for last 5-6 years, if we are just able to maintain the same sort of GDP growth rate, we would be hitting those numbers, right? So if that is achievable and if the economy is expected to grow so much, right, it's obviously going to represent into stocks and obviously in terms of indices going much higher, right? We're not talking about short term, 3 months, 6 months, we're talking about how indices will be 4 years, 5 years down the line, right? So now if that is the case, then how can retail investors benefit out of it, right? They are hearing about this theme, you're talking about it to them all the time, right? So if they want to actually benefit out of it, what do they do, right? So what they need to do is actually go and buy into this small case, because it represents a collection of stocks from different sectors, so that the whole portfolio is diversified, which are expected to do well as the GDP of the country also increases.
Right. In fact, just to remind our viewers that though ET Now and SmallCase have put this basket of portfolio, a smart portfolio together, but there is also a hand of some of the veterans in the market which actually comprise of the committee which will be overseeing this entire process. Nilesh Shah of Kotak, Samit Vartak of Sage One, Pankaj Murarka, another mutual fund veteran, is part of the committee. Of course, runs his own large portfolio now. Renaissance Capital, PMS Services, and Saurabh Mukherjee of Marcellus, all four of them, along with our managing editor Nikunj Dalmia and Anugrah, the co-founder of SmallCase, comprise of the 6-member committee which will be regularly reviewing this portfolio, and if any changes warranted quarterly, they'll be having a meeting and those changes will be made. But Anugrah, just coming back, how does the performance or the financials of this particular portfolio look like when we look at it from a back testing point of view?
Yeah. So obviously, as you spoke about that, the committee is responsible for maintaining these small cases, right? But obviously, the list of stocks that we have today, we have sort of seen what returns these stocks have generated over the year, right? And since 2011, the portfolio has generated almost a CAGR of around 24%, right? And that's quite high compared to Nifty. In the same period, Nifty has generated a CAGR of around 12%, right? Obviously, it's not directly comparable, but obviously, if we have to benchmark it against something, Nifty is the most obvious choice, and it has handsomely outperformed Nifty, right? And not just in terms of total CAGR, right? When we talk about total CAGR, it could be because of an outperformance in one particular year, right? Now, we have further broken it down into every single year, and since 2011, that is 2012, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and in the 6 months that we are standing in this year, in every single time period, it has generated better returns compared to Nifty. And not just returns, actually the volatility is also less. So obviously the Sharpe is also much better.
Sure. So Anugrah, last question for the viewers who are watching right now and are keen or wanting to weigh options of buying this particular product. Talk to us about the methodology, how they can just click on their computer and go ahead and buy the ET Now small case RWI.
So ET Now and SmallCase has together launched a website. It's called rwi.smallcase.com. You can go to the website. You can find out all the details about the small case there. You can see who are the committee members, what are their backgrounds, how often the small case will be reviewed, what is the methodology. And if at all you are interested and you want to buy it, after checking all the historical performance and all the ratios, you just need to click on invest in the small case, enter your broker credential, and you can buy it in like 2 clicks.
All right, Anugrah, thank you very much for your time.
My pleasure.
And guys, with that, it's back to you. And my request to the viewers and the first-time investors and early investors is that you can sample this particular product in the market.